lesson is going to be super easy blues riffs. My name is Mike B, and this is Campfire Guitar Star. Alright guys, so in this lesson we're going to be checking out a classic blues song that you kind of just gotta know to be able to play the blues. This one is Killing Floor by Howlin Wolf. Now, right before we tear into this one, I'm going to need you to head down to the description of this video and click on the link to get those tabs out in front of you. There's going to be certain things I'm talking about in this song that you're just going to need those tabs out in front of you for. So today we're not only going to learn the riff, we're going to learn a couple of variations on the riff, a little bit of a lead part that kind of happens over top of the riff. We're going to talk about a 12-bar blues as well. Alright, so this song is actually pretty simple. It's a good one for any kind of beginner, intermediate, advanced. Anybody can get this tune down. It's a really fun one to play. There's pretty much just 4 steps here. Check it out. We've got this. Here's step 1. Here's step 2. Here's step 3. Here's step 4. It's pretty much just 4 steps to this riff. So let's look at that a little bit more in depth here. For step 1, we've got our second finger on the 5th fret of the low E string, and we're just going to hit 2 downstrokes on that thing. Alright, so that's step 1. Now step 2, first finger goes to the 4th fret of the A string, and we play that 2 downstrokes as well. Alright, so we got step 1, step 2, step 3, we're going to jump that finger up 1 fret to the 5th fret, and right here we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So in our right hand, we're actually going to go down, up, down, up. So one more time, that's down, up, down, up. So a total of 4 hits on that 5th fret. And yeah, just downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. So far we've got, and then we've got, and then we've got, and then the last step is, we're going to play second finger on the 6th fret of the A string, and then 3rd finger, 7th fret, A string. So if we put all those steps together, we get. If you're a total beginner, especially with a riff like this, I would highly suggest that you do this with it first. Like, almost like get all the pieces of it down and then worry about putting that puzzle together after you've got all the pieces down. So let's put that together nice and slow here. We get. And that's actually the first part of the song there, exactly what I just did. We're going to do it 4 times through that first lick, 4 times. Now, after you've done that 4 times, this is one of the best things about the blues and the guitar, and I guess this is why the blues is so commonly played on the guitars. Now, we're going to do the exact same thing. We go to the 4 chord, which means we just shift everything down 1 string set. All the exact same frets, exact same techniques, but just starting on the A string now at the 5th fret. So that would look like this. We do that 2 times, and then we go back to the original riff 2 times. So far in the song, now again, if you have that PDF up in front of you, this is way easier to follow along, but we do the first riff 4 times, then the next riff 2 times, then back to the original riff 2 times. And that is the first 8 bars of our 12-bar blues. Or if you're following along on your PDF, that's the first 2 lines of that 12-bar blues. So let's take a look at the very last line, and then we've got pretty much the entire song. So again, we're not going to change really anything we're doing at all. We're just going to move this riff around. So the last part, the 5 chord here, the last 4 bars of our 12-bar blues, we're going to take that riff, just like before, we drop it onto the A string, but this time we're also going to move it up 2 frets So we're at the 7th fret. And we get this right here. So one more time, super slow. Same deal, but starting at the 7th fret. Then we go back to the 4 chord, or the 5th fret of the A string. And then we get the turnaround after that. So let me do that one more time for you. The first 2 bars of this last line. We're at 7. Back. And then we get to our turnaround right there. So here's what the turnaround looks like. We get... So, it actually starts off pretty similar to the very original riff. We're back on the E string here, 2nd finger, 5th fret, and we're just going to do 2 hits on each note. Notice there on the A string though, I'm just using my 1st finger. And then right here, we're going to go just the low E string one time. Then we get this little shell 7th chord right here. So this is an E7. And I've got my 2nd finger on the 7th fret of the A string. My 1st finger on the 6th fret of the D string, or 4th string. And then my 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the G. And that's our little shell 7th chord. Try to have just those 3 strings ringing through, but check this out. If you accidentally strum a little far, all the open strings sound really cool in that chord as well. So no worries if you accidentally strum a little bit far. This is the blues. It's, you're allowed to break rules here. So we go, on this chord you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it started off with open E, and then 7 downstrokes on the chord. So here's the whole turnaround, nice and slow. And one thing you'll notice I'm doing there on that E7 chord is I'm not going, we're actually deadening it. We're going, making it staccato. So all I'm doing is no like fancy right hand mute. I just strum and then I disengage my left hand. So the whole turnaround at full speed. Alright, and then that brings us right back to the beginning of the song. A turnaround kind of always turns the blues back around and you're back to the start again. So that's the entire song right there. That's like a solid rhythm part. Now, because this is the blues, every time somebody plays this song, they put a few variations on it. Even on the original Howlin Wolf recording, there's a couple variations that I want to talk about for a second here. So here's the first variation. It's kind of a timing thing. Instead of going... we go... So instead of... again... da, da. So just hit the first note once, and the next note twice. And here's your timing. 3, 4, boom, da, da. And you can do this sort of wherever you want. That's what they're doing in this song, is they're kind of bouncing around between that and the original rhythm track. So I would suggest you get both versions down, this cool kind of timing variation down, and the original down, and then when you're playing it, kind of mixing around and doing maybe the first riff for some, and then the variation for some. So something like this, maybe like a... So there's the original. Switching it up. kind of mix it up. Sometimes I would do the original, sometimes I would do the variation. Now, if you're playing this song in a band, you're kind of a bit more like intermediate, advanced sort of level, there's a cool lead part you can add on top that they do. You go... And then same thing on the 4 chord. It's a great like little lead thing. If you're playing in a band that has like 2 guitar players, you got one guy going, and then the other guy goes. So it's kind of interesting. This one is going to be a 2-bar phrase essentially. So this riff, this little, is going to fit over 2 of the. You got to play 2 of those to fit one of the other riff. So that means to start off the blues, you're just going to do this thing twice. Again, I've got this all in that PDF as well. But here's the riff right here on the 1 chord. We get start off 2nd finger, 7th fret, G string. And right when you hit that, you're going to slide it right up to 9. And once you get up to 9, your 3rd finger jumps on here, plays the 9th fret of the high E, so you get this cool chord. And then you strum it. Try to make sure your A string is, or sorry, your B string is muted there. So you have, move it down 2 frets, and then we get this. So 2nd finger, 5th fret, G string, slide it into 6, and then your 1st finger plays 5 of the high E. So rewind that, watch that as many times as you need to, and here's what the whole thing looks like, really slow. Again. Now, just so you really get the timing of this, I'm going to count myself in to actually play this from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. That was the first line of the blues at full speed there. So now the 2nd line, if you take a look at your PDF there, remember it was, we had the 1 chord for 2 bars, or sorry, the 4 chord at the 5th fret here of the A for 2 bars, and then we were back to the original for 2 bars. So because this is a 2-bar pattern, that means we're going to do the 4 chord riff just one time, and then back to the 1 chord riff. So at the 4 chord, it's going to look like this. We're actually going to move the riff up here to the 12th fret of the G, where you slide it into 14, 3rd finger comes on, and then we go to 10, slide to 11, same exact lick, just starting up here at 12. So on the 2nd line, we do that once, and then we go back to this one. And now for the very last line here, this one's going to be slightly different. We've got this right here. So we're going to start all the way up here, actually at 14, slide into 16, and then your 3rd finger comes on the same fret. That's the move right there. So we slide in, strum it again, move it down 2 frets, strum it again. So that's the 5 chord. And then we go down. Exact same lick, 2 frets down. So we start at 12, slide into 14, and then we're back to the original riff. And then then if you want to, you can jump on that E7 right there. So let me play you the whole song with this kind of lead part here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line. Last line. And then we're back to the top there. So those are 3 slightly different ways you can go about playing this song. Again, if you're more of a beginner, I kind of stick to the original method. And for more of the intermediate, advanced people, get that higher one down. And then that's one of the things that makes this song so great, is that it's got kind of like 2 parts to it. So it's a great one to jam, to keep in your back pocket next time you're going to a jam. People always know this song. It's a good one to play. And yeah, you can play either one of those parts, the lead or the rhythm. So thanks a lot for checking out this video where we checked out Killing Floor. Remember, if you guys want to hook up for one-on-one lessons wherever you are in the world, let us know. You can contact us in the contact of our in the description there, or on just the comments of this video. We got students all over the world right now, and we'd love to add you to our roster. And yeah, keep in mind too, we've got all sorts of other courses. This is, you know, very much a blues standard. If you want to get more into the blues, we've got a full Blues Guitar Star course, which again, you can find more information on that in the description of this video. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot for checking this out. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Make sure to hit that bell to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next lesson.